Howdy, everybody. How is everyone doing this Sunday evening? It is good to see everybody. I'm usurping Miss Gennax Collectibles time this Sunday evening, and so you got the DoN with your evening decaf, and so hopefully it'll be a good show. And if I may, I'd like to introduce Mr. Boudreaux to the show, and he's got a little surprise waiting for us later in the show. So welcome, sir. Appreciate you being here.
Andy, everyone else in chat. Is there a surprise? What's a surprise?
Oh, I don't know. I thought there was going to be a surprise. I guess we're going to have to kind of wait and see on that, aren't we?
Oh, I'll have to think back to what we talked about.
Okay.
Oh, I mentioned like a little contest about something, and I'm trying to think who it was in chat that picked up on it. Oh, I know, it was Kinamine.
Okay.
Picked up on it, and it was like a challenge we talked about, but we'll figure all that out as we move forward.
Sounds good. Okay, let's. There we go. Let's see who is with us at the moment. We got Miss Boudreaux is here. Hey, Mr. Resnick. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here, my friend. And I guess we'll have a few more people cycle in as the evening goes along. Stacking Perpetrator is with us. He'll be on in a little bit. He's got some stuff at home and everything to take care of. So we appreciate him being on the show this evening. And what am I doing? I'm playing around here. Yeah, I'm still learning all this jazz.
Oh my God, it seems so overwhelming.
No, it is. I mean, boy, it's crazy. Actually, we don't really need that.
To figure out the time to do it in between, like stuff that's not hobby related. Like real life stuff.
Yeah. That's careful. Yeah, that's the biggest challenge for me is working full time and I'm working from home. They switch us all to remote working because stuff outside. You know what I mean?
You subscribe to? There's a channel on YouTube, and some people, they'll turn it into whatever they can turn it into. I just take it for information that I can put into the pot of other information and then form my own opinion, right? So there's a channel. It's called Stansberry Research. Have you come across it at all, or?
I haven't.
It's essentially financially related, economic, geopolitical related. And they had a really animated guy on there, but he's been calling it for the last 40 years. And he had some wild, profound things to say about. Oh, there it is. Andy picked up on it. Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Andy's, let me turn a little bit of light on here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah. Andy's the man. So he's always on top of things for sure.
Yeah. Hey, it's just, you take it for what it's worth, and like I said, the best thing to do is be open-minded. And, if you pick up on threads in overlays of news stories, then there's got to be something to it. But again, you have to figure out your own opinion, and I think common sense dictates, where you go with that. But it's a great channel. I'll honestly, I forget what I wanted to say about the guy. He said something really profound. It'll come to me in a little while. I'm sure we'll
about lock-in and a lot of people working remotely from home.
Oh yeah, exactly. Man, what an excellent recall. Excellent recall. So he talked about, and before I forget again, essentially he referred to commercial real estate, particularly office space.
Oh, and yeah.
He says it's dismal. He goes, the rental rates in large cities like New York, Los Angeles, just large cities across the country, the rental rates for office space are dismal, and the shift is going to continue to move to what you just said. People are going to be working out of home, and these people owning, whether they're large buildings or however they're outfitted to accommodate this office space, they're going to be in big trouble. They're going to have to pivot and figure out, what to do with that space. But I think we're already, the economy overall is pivoting, and I don't think a lot of people are really paying attention to the big signs. You got a little pebble rolling down the hill right now, right? And then after a while, the mud starts sticking to it, and before it gets to the bottom, you got this giant ball rolling down the hill. Hey, Stacking, how you doing?
Hey,
Mr. Perpetrator. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Just had to finish my dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Can't miss a meal. Hey, before we get any further, John Howell, thanks for joining us this evening. And we have Freedom Fighter. Good to see you. Hey, thanks for being here.
Hey, Freedom Fighter. How you doing?
Yeah. To kind of piggyback on that same train of thought, what my company did, they got two. Huntsville is their headquarters, and they have the big main building, which I worked out of, and then they have an annex because they won a lot of little contracts, here and there from different programs, and this whole lockdown thing, whatever. Well, a lot of people at the headquarters office was given the option, hey, you want to work from home because of
Sure.
the bug and all that jazz. So a lot of us said, sure, it's convenient. Gas prices have been way up
positively, right? Because you don't have to
it's like, I can't believe how much money I've saved on gas just by working from home. So they won earlier this year. We won a medium-sized contract, and they're transferring people from physically different cities and locations into the Huntsville area. They needed office space, so the main headquarters, the larger building, all of us kind of vacated, right?
Yeah, right.
And they had the annex building, but there was enough seats vacated in headquarters. So they let the lease on the annex building expire and then move all those new people into the headquarters building. So in essence, somebody has my office now.
Right. And that's always the tricky part is even though you may not be using the facility, right? There's especially if you're leasing it, there's still the expense of, depending on the type of lease you have set up, there's the expense of maintaining the property till, like you said, it expires,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. So the company's saving a lot of money because they're not paying for that lease on that building, plus whatever, associated, like you said, maintenance fees, grounds keeping up the grass and the bushes.
Yeah. Depending on if it's a triple net lease or what type of lease you've got set up, there's, just because people aren't in there doesn't mean you don't have an expense anymore. There's a lot to consider. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but I think the economy is, you're going to start seeing that. I mean, there's a couple companies that they continue to announce, even though you can go up and down the block and find 10 places in a row that need help. There's large companies that have already said they're, letting go huge swaths of people. So, all this stuff is cyclical. Do you remember Charlie Rose? He was he had a talk show on PBS. It was a dark. This was a long time ago, and he had I couldn't remember who it was. He had an economist on, and the economist said that people overall have the economic recall of about 30 years, and then after that, you kind of see the certain things come back cyclically, right? Whether it, in this case, inflation, right? We're at 40-year highs right now, right? Or whether it be mortgage meltdowns or Wall Street, fraud or whatever it is, all this stuff rears its head every so often, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Silver Wolverine. Hey, Big E.
Big E.
Trey. May I interject something real quick? Trey, I thought of you the other day. Have you guys been on? You were there, John. Sammy was talking about the Intaglio, the UFO Intaglio mint coins.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I thought of Trey. Trey, if you haven't seen these yet, you have to go to the Intaglio mint site and just type in UFO cats. And there's a UFO that's like beaming up 50 cats or something. It's pretty cool. I immediately thought of Trey. Yeah.
They can have cats. I'm allergic to them. That's why I got. That's why I got a dog.
No, your dog should have its own channel. That thing's a ham bone.
Oh, it's funny since I brought him on live streams here and there. People are kind of hinting, hey, we want to see more of the chief. So,
why not? The dog's a ham bone.
Yeah, I'm going to go from what I got, like 215 subscribers.
You'll shoot over
1,000 when I start posting pictures of him.
You're not kidding. All right,
I won't point channel anymore. I'll be dog channel.
Oh, it's perfect. He needs one of those little hats. What do they call them? It's like a little Dutch boy hat. I forget the style it is, but it's just got that little bill on the front, and the whole thing comes in buttons right to the front right there.
Yeah.
He needs one of those, man. You put him on camera. Remember, what was his name? Triumph, the comic insult dog. It was a puppet. The guy would just do,
with the cigar. Yeah.
You need to do the opposite of that. You just need to do like compliments all the time. Just a big smiling face, just giving compliments all the time.
Uh-oh. Somebody wants to. He's right here.
Well, come on, have him come up one time.
Oh. Okay. Y'all want to? Well, if I get too far ahead, Meow Coins. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no hissing, Craig.
Yeah, and then Big E. Thanks for joining us. I think I probably saw you on earlier today, or maybe it was from the last night. But anyway, thanks for joining us. And of course, my favorite guy, Mr. Silver Wolverine. What happened to the morning coffee session? Well, I moved it to tonight.
This is just temporary. Right?
I wanted to sleep in. So call me lazy. and Mr. Gennax is out and about on a trip with his family. So he's having fun, relaxing, enjoying himself. So I thought I'd usurp his.
Oh, there's Gennax right there.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. What's up? Hey, brother, what's going on? Quick hello, can't stay, have fun. Yeah, have fun. Yeah, I'm enjoying taking your spot because I was able to sleep in this morning.
Silver Wolverine said he's going to be up all night because he's drinking coffee. Well, Silver Wolverine, I'm on my third pot today, and I will fall out tonight really quick.
No, my caffeine cutoff is like 12, 1 o'clock or something like that. Because if I drink any more after that, I'll be up all night.
In the afternoon, John?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I cut off about 1 o'clock. Yeah, sometimes 2, but anything if it started getting mid-afternoon, late afternoon, I'll definitely cut it. Even and I've been pretty good about giving up soft drinks too. So
that's important.
Yeah,
that's
get
important.
rid. Trying to lose some of that, and and I believe. I can't prove it, but I believe high fructose corn syrup is just bad. Period.
Oh, undoubtedly. Oh yeah, no, that's a given. If you could cut out, well, there's in sodas too. Just the sugar itself is just it's outrageous. I've had a hard time with it. I went from being in banking to managing a fitness facility, and I used to play competitive racquetball 3 times a week. I went from 210 pounds down to 180. And stayed there until I left the gym. And then I went right back way past 210, like to I don't want to say, a little over 230. And then this year, since the beginning of the year, I've gone just by what you're saying, cutting out soda, the snacks that I kind of used to gravitate to. And it's begrudgingly. Please don't think I'm like, out there, waving the carrot flag and the celery flag, because I'm not. It's begrudgingly. But it's an easy way to just curb your appetite for that moment. It's going to come back quick, but just for that moment, then you get in the habit of just like, okay, let it go, let it go, let it go. So I got a little bit more to go, but I'm kind of, otherwise my blood pressure is then it starts impacting your blood pressure. You become pre-diabetic. We're not young like we used to be,
No.
Remember we used to ride our bikes halfway across town to the baseball card shop or to go fishing somewhere or something like that.
I was just going to say fishing. Yeah. Long ago when my family lived in Wakefield, Kansas, they had Milford Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, even after school or during the summer, my dad would just let me and my brother, we get on our bikes, have our fishing pole, a jar of that nasty, stinky bait for catfish. It's like a cheesy.
Wait, you got to say what it is. Did you make it yourself or did you buy it?
No, we bought it.
Okay. Oh, I know some old cooters that ferment their own catfish bait. Boy, it's but we used to just fish with big worms. Remember, we used to get those night crawlers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, MJ, how you doing?
So who else we got? Well, Mr. MJ Boudreaux. Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us, my friend. Thank you. And by the way, folks, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, he just makes awesome videos.
I know, I'm jealous. They're great.
He puts in the kind of the history, say of that coin he's presenting, and he's like an expert when it comes to like errors and like die cracks and all that craziness. It's just incredible. And his videos are fun. The most recent one he did with the colorized Purple Heart, that was very elegant, very classy, I thought. You just kind of watch it and you kind of go quiet, kind of like reverence. It's the only the best word I could think of, because of what the Purple Heart means and what it stands for. And that video was a great tribute to the Purple Heart, which is the anniversary is today, I believe, for the commencement of the Purple Heart being issued to our military. So well done.
I missed out on it, and then when MJ showed when he did the video, I kind of wish that I did get it. It's really nice, and not only the significance of that, but it's got numismatic significance, because I think it's the first, right, the one with color in it, and it's just, they really did it nice when they introduce something to have a little extra significance to it.
I don't know if I would venture a guess saying yes. I believe that's the first colorized coin the U.S. Mint has issued, but
right.
I probably need some folks in the chat, Mr. Resnick or Mr. MJ would know. Yeah, but you're right. I agree. If this was the first coin that they colorized, the way they did it was excellent, because it was just enough accent to. Yeah, it's subtle, very subtle. Very, what's it saying? Less is more.
Exactly. And you don't want to overwhelm the message of the coin either, right? By splashing it with color, that'd be foolish. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
So it's just a wonderful, wonderful video, Mr. MJ. Really appreciate that. Who else we got? We got.
Gennax corrected us. That's right. The basketball.
Okay. Yeah. See, stay in your lane, not my lane.
That's all right. You know what?
So Frogman,
I hate to judge the coin, but one's more significant than the other. But he's right. That's how we learn. Yep.
Silver Frogman, thanks for joining us. And Mr. Bob, I'm not going to try because out of respect.
Wojciechowski. Did I say that right? Wojciechowski. Bob, if you're there, Wojciechowski.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for joining us, Bob. Appreciate you being here.
That's a good one.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, SW. Yeah, okay, the basketball. Yeah, because it was orange. But if I recall, that was like completely like orange. Well, I mean, it's orange, a basketball, so it's going to be all orange,
I seem to remember the same. Yep.
And was it like high relief or something like that too? I don't.
Was it concave or convex? I can't remember. It had a little extra shape to it, one way or the other.
Yeah. I've seen it, but like online or something like that. So,
Bob says yes. I knew that one.
Okay. Well, how about I either call him Mr. Bob or Mr. W? I'm going to trip over that.
That's a solid Polish last name. I have Italian background. My mom and dad were born in Italy, and we grew up around Polish families. So I got lucky on that one. But
see, Mr. Resnick is my man, because he is like. Let me highlight his chat here. Wojciechowski. See, now I want to try to like use a Polish Russian accent.
Yeah, you went way hard with it.
Wojciechowski.
Yep, there you go.
Wojciechowski. Well, I don't want to keep saying because I might be butchering it up. So please, no offense.
Bob,
kind of having some fun here, but appreciate you being here,
nice.
Bob. Oh, hey, what does Mr. Gennax have to say? The silver wasn't completely colorized, and it was curved like a ball, similar to the baseball. Okay, yeah. So the basketball was curved, and yeah. I seem to
remember it having like a fine silver edge to it. Like the colorization didn't go all the way to the rim of the coin. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. X also says The uncirculated clad was more colorized. Okay, yeah. Again, I'm not I'm not familiar with the basketball coins. So.
Oh, I love the Barney Miller reference. That's perfect.
What do you? Oh, I have been cursed by Barney. Oh, okay. Okay,
great.
that I had to catch up a little bit on that. So, what is about Death from Below works? Okay, I believe now that you got my memory jogging, I believe Bob was in the Navy, and I believe he served on what we call boomers. And please correct me, Bob. Jump in. Let's see what else I remember. Yeah, he served on boomers. And for those who don't know what boomers are, they're the ballistic missile subs. So they carry the nasty, stuff that can. HVAC. Hey, man, what's going on? How are you, sir? Good evening. So, for all your home heating and air conditioning needs, call HVAC Residential Basics. Sign up to his YouTube channel to get his latest emails and newsletters on upcoming services and discounts and later coupons. So, HVAC Residential Basics. Thanks for joining us, friend. Yeah, we got a nice little crowd here. So let's turn a little bit of this over to Mr. Stacking Perpetrator, and so tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with your channel, and what are some of the areas that you like to cover, you like to present, some of the content that you're currently posted, and maybe hint to a little bit of what you're working on.
Oh, I got started doing my channel because of, Son of a Silver Stacker? Because I was always making comments and stuff. And he said, oh, you need to start a channel. So I finally just got the old phone camera out and started doing some videos. As far as I do a lot more coin videos, but that's because of 2020 when the premiums went up. So I went numismatics instead of paying the premiums. And what helped me get into the albums was the fact that I had all the 90% Morgans, peace dollars, quarters, dimes, all that. That's where all my albums started with. And then I've just been slowly upgrading, making upgrades, finding new fills for the spots. And I just film those out. I thought about getting some editing software, but that just takes too much time. My business keeps me busy, and heck, just shadowing something out in YouTube Studio sometimes takes an hour for it to process. It's like, man, I don't have this kind of time. I got to go to bed and get up in the morning.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Even though I'm
talking about that.
So yeah. I set my stuff up. Like I'll pick one night or maybe 2 nights, and I'll do 4 or 5 videos in one sitting, load them up into YouTube, and then just release them one at a time. And it just works for me. I figure if I mess up on something, I just delete the video and start it and reset the stage up and start it over.
Yeah. Like saying happy Monday and it's like Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I try not to. And then with my channel too, I get so aggravated with a lot of other channels. They're always pushing stuff and pushing. And it's like, come on, that's why I specify my videos. This is the way I do it. You do you. If you want to collect a certain thing, you buy that. This is what I do. And you're just following along in my journey. So it just, I got the, the Mint catalog, and I see a lot of channels were talking about the free 10th ounce coin you get for buying that. If you buy that 2017 American Liberty. Yeah,
they're both gorgeous coins.
I was checking on the Mint site, and that coin is listed. Well, in the magazine where you get the free coin, it's listed at you got to pay $2,815, but the website currently at the Mint, that coin is $2,715.
Yeah. You got to figure about the time they print and produce that, and that thing runs through the mail. They adjust the price for gold on their website, but nowhere near like you would hope they would. You could still get the deal online. I mean, obviously buy it online and use the code, whatever it is, to get it online. But they're both gorgeous. I mean, the 1 ounce is at the time it was the coin of the year, right? Wasn't it the coin of the year?
It was. Yep.
I love that 10th is gorgeous. I mean,
yeah, but the thing a lot of channels are talking about, it's like, okay, we're talking about a coin that did not sell out from 2017.
exactly.
If you look at the gold, you know, we'll give it a current gold prices spot. You're getting what, $2,000 worth of gold, but you got to pay $800 premium for a coin that didn't sell out. I mean, come on, you know.
Right. Yeah, I think
like coin, get it, but you know,
when it's not a current year coin, that maybe more consideration needs to be made to just get that out of inventory. You know, maybe hold off. There is something to be said. I mean, obviously 800 is a lot when you compare it cost wise, but there is something to be said for peace of mind, knowing you're getting it right from the mint, right? You don't have to worry about its authenticity, right? You understand that the packaging, the thing's coming new, but you know, $800 on 2,000, that's a stretch, man. You're talking what, a 40% like pump on it? That's a lot.
It is a lot.
I'm not telling people not to buy it. Hey, if you like the deal and you feel you like that coin, hey, by all means, go get it. But at least with the people talking about it, at least let people know that, hey, you know, there's an $800 premium on this, on something that did not sell out since 2017. I mean,
yeah,
you know, that coin's not going up in value anytime
yeah.
soon.
If that 10th ounce in that beautiful red presentation was $300, I would buy it. And it's still overpriced, but I would buy it at 300. But 350, come on, you're asking a lot of money.
Yeah, and they minted 35,000 more of that 10th ounce than they did the 1 ounce.
Yeah, John. Now, didn't you just that you picked up a nice Buffalo coin? Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got my very first Buffalo earlier in July.
Excellent. Yep. And you said something last night. I think you and I related to it because it sounded just like me. You get like buyer's remorse, right? You're like, oh no, why did I buy this? At least that's what I picked up on.
A little bit. Well, the problem is the timing, because
that's what I mean.
early July.
You're thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my computer died, and I already made some other purchases earlier. The Star Wars stuff from New Zealand, and I was like, okay, that's enough spending, And then this deal popped up, and I was just like,
you'll feel much better about it.
I don't regret buying it because I wanted one. And Mr. Gennax, he's in the chat somewhere, and
there he is, right there.
Yeah, so he, him and we follow each other every day practically, and he got me hooked on getting. I always wanted to get a Buffalo anyway.
They're beautiful.
Talking to him about it is just like, okay, I'm going to get one, and it was from Silver Gold Bull. They had like a weekend special on 2022 Buffaloes, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to get it. So I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't regret it. It's just a little bit of a shock because it's like, okay, now I spent more than I really planned on.
I bought the half ounce proof from the mint this year, and that had a mintage of 2,000, and that's why I wanted to get that one. But I mean, that was jacked up. That was $14.50 for half ounce coin that came in, and I'm not knocking it. I would much rather have had a clamshell with nice red or navy blue velvet, but it came in a cardboard box and it was $14.50, but I still enjoy having it. And that's the only thing I don't keep in. I have a nice safe, but that's the only thing that's not in my safe. That's in the safe box at the bank. That one's not in the safe. I'll go visit it once in a while.
Make sure it's still there. It's like, hello, you still there?
Yeah.
Real quick. No, please, Mr. Perpetrator, please go ahead.
Both of y'all just described coins that you bought because you liked them. You went out of your way to buy that coin, but I feel a lot of people are getting nudged to just buy all this high premium stuff instead of sticking with the basics.
Well, if you're stacking for sake of stacking, you could buy gold bars for $100 over if you're buying it by the ounce, 150 maybe at the worst, right?
Yeah, but like I said, with you guys, you bought something. You bought that. What do they call it? Your ice cream cone or, whatever. And that's great. That's great. Yeah. You buy what you like, but I just see a lot of pushing people in the wrong direction. That's one thing I don't like.
Yeah.
That goes on. Yeah.
There's definitely a line between, collecting for numismatic rarity value and then collecting for stacking sake, I think, and I shifted just like Gennax talks about regularly. I shifted from a position standpoint in silver that regard, right? I didn't care if I had a, $60 ounce Libertad or if I had a $30 an ounce little bar from Atmex or something. It was still an ounce of silver to me. And that's the way I started looking at that stuff.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. For me, and kind of Gennax is kind of similar, I guess with Gennax, he's kind of half and half, the numismatics and and a stacking. So, but recently he's transitioned less, numismatic and more just straight up stacking. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely, and for both of us, shifted from a whole lot less silver and more focus on gold stacking. Yeah. And when we look at silver now, it's collectible. Even the Eagles are collectible. And that's how I treat it. So I'm not buying a tube of Eagles or Philharmonics or stuff like that. Now, for me, I will buy 2 of each of the major sovereign bullions each year as my collection. Mm-hmm. So I'll get all the 2022 Phils, the Britannias, the Kangaroos, and I'll eventually get 2 Eagles sooner or later. But that's it. That's all I'm going to get in terms of those. That again, that's my way of collecting them.
When you say DoN, because you said tubes just a moment ago, when you say 2, are you getting 2 tubes or two coins?
2 coins. 2 coins. No tubes. Tubes. Yeah.
Now, when you do that, that's okay. No, when you do that, are you just getting the bullion issue, or are you getting numismatic since you're just getting the 2? So you're getting,
no. I'm sorry.
You're just getting the bullion issue.
No. 2 bullion.
Gotcha.
But I'm also doing the mint stuff. So like the San Francisco's are dropping.
I mean, I think everybody collects something, right? Whether it's baseball cards or coins.
Sure.
So why not have a couple of nice proof W's or a couple of nice low mintage San Francisco?
Oh, yeah, I have them. Yeah. As soon as those San Frans hit the house, I got some other stuff that I'm going to box it up and send it out for grading. Because
Andy brought up a great point.
Well, I'm sorry?
Andy brought up a great point right there. He says, I stack and collect, but I only stack legal tender. At the end of the day, you still want it to have some kind of value. I mean, it's nice to have a James Bond bar or something, but it's still just an ounce of silver. When the sky starts falling, it's an ounce of silver.
Yeah, it is. And that's kind of, if I'm going to stack, through my 2 of each sovereign every year, those, it's kind of a collectible and stacking, for lack of a better
I like that. No, that's
way of describing it. So every year I'm going to get 2 of each of the major bullions, and that builds my stack, and I'm good. So I'm still stacking a little bit of silver, just not as much as I was when I first started, which was last year. So I've been doing all this stuff barely about a year and a half.
Yeah, so I started back in September, so almost a year.
Yeah.
That's what I did with on Eagles. I slacked off on just buying tubes of Eagles. And I was looking at the monster box. I was working on a monster box, and then I just decided, this is getting crazy.
It is.
Anybody can just go out and buy Eagles, but then the prices are going up. So that's when I did my video or my thoughts on the monster box challenge, because it turned out just people were just whoever could throw the most money at it. It's like anybody can do that, if they got the money. And that's why I got my 13 Damscos, and I'm doing from 86 to the 21 Type 1.
Nice.
Like 36 coins in an album. I'm just shy of those 13 books are just shy of a monster box. But then you go to my main collection, I'm over a monster box. And that's the way I'm doing mine. I'm stacking the silver, but then I'm also collecting, putting all the different years together.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, you have a lot of fun doing that, don't you?
Oh yeah. It's a lot of fun doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And because I get a lot, and plus a lot of what I do, I got bored with stacking. Go buy a $10 roll of quarters and put it in a box and put it away. Bored with it. You get a roll of $50, you put it in your box, and then you put it away and you don't look at it. It's like, man, that's just boring.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the numismatic side.
Yeah, I like looking at my Eagles. I have some slab, not many, but I like going to the boxes and opening them up and looking at them. And man, I'm jealous, man. It sounds like you got an extraordinary Eagle collection. That as far as silver goes, that's what I've pretty much funneled down to. Is just Eagles,
Yeah, I'm only as far as the entire variations, reverse proofs, all that. I'm missing the 95W and I'm missing the 19S ESERP. Those are two I got to get in the next couple of years. But I'm actually focused. I'm 2 coins away from a full Morgan set, and I'm focusing on those right now.
A couple little projects running. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I need the 2 tough ones. I need a 81cc and I need a 93S.
Wow.
And I will be done. But that 93S, oh my God.
You have those in Danskos as well?
No, I have those in the Littleton archival albums.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I like the Littletons because you can undo the rings and pull the pages out. Makes it. Those are actually better for doing videos because you can pull the page out and manipulate it instead of trying to manipulate. More flexibility.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Stack, and you might know this since it seems like you have a lot of collecting experience. So if I wanted to replace the little, I don't know what to call them, the little see-through inserts in the Danskos, that slide over the obverse and the reverse of the coins. So I have a Eisenhower book, for example, and there's kind of scuffed up and stuff. If you just slide them out, the coins look a heck of a lot better than they do through those scuffed up things. Can those be replaced, or do you know of a hobby shop that might sell a comparable thickness, similar material?
I was looking at that because I have some of mine that have the scratches in them. If you're going with Littleton, you can actually order. You can actually go call Littleton and
you would, but I looked at
they'll get you some plastic. Well, Dansko's out of business. Yeah, Dansko's out of business. So the only thing you're going to get is aftermarket.
Yeah, whatever was on that page. I thought, yeah.
What I did was I had bought some cheap Dansko albums on eBay to butcher them for parts.
There you go.
So I might have bad pages, but I got good slides. So I'll pull the slides out and use those and then just throw somebody might have put the coins in and broke the bridge, the cardboard in between.
Anything that they could have sat in a box that got water damage at the bottom of the edge of the page or something, and all the slides are fine. Yeah.
So I pull the slides out, clean the slides up, and then I reuse them where I can, because they're not always the same. But you brought up a good point. I'm trying to hunt down and see if I can find somewhere that sells like a sheet of plastic and just cut out my own.
Right, like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something. Yeah. It has to be rigid enough to be able to slide it in the right way without it buckling on you,
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to make sure it's stiff enough. It's got to have some flex and it's got to be soft and it can't be PVC.
Well, if I find something,
no PVC. No PVC.
No PVC, but that's what I'm going to be looking for some of that stuff. I just haven't had time because my business has been booming right now. Going around fixing all this stuff from other contractors.
Oh, isn't that the case?
Oh, that's another thing too. You were talking about your dog. It probably helps to show your dog some so you get your view counts because some of my best.
Dang, look at Gypsy Wolf.
Some of my best views now are the what were they thinking videos, and I'm showing little jobs that I do, for my company, what I do, and those are like huge views versus some of the coin videos. So you might want to think about doing some.
Oh no, I am.
Doing some dog videos. Get your views up on the channel.
Yeah, he has his own little sub channel. It's called Chief of Security, and it's all going to be about him. I even have requests for stickers, and I was like, "Am I going to do a sticker of Marty?"
Are you kidding me?
No, well, actually, his grandma took some really, really excellent pictures of him. He's actually kind of sitting proper. He's kind of got the that professional look, gleam in his eye, and I'm like, it's like the way I describe that picture is that's his glamour shot to go on his real estate business card. It's like one of those. So I was thinking maybe if I could with the new computer, I finally got fairly nice editing software for videos and photos. So if I could capture that image and then put it on a plain background, and then I could make a proper sticker out of it, it'll probably do it. People will probably like it. So he's gonna get his own little sub playlist in the channel. I'm not gonna start a separate channel that's just too much. I got one, and like you said, why not use it to kind of piggyback? Hey, why not?
Where's the dog right now?
Yeah, he is taking a nap. I guess it's union rules.
Tough
So
day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we go.
He's got to be good. No wonder he's smiling all the time.
Hey, I got to interrupt here.
Please.
I got to interrupt here. Boudreaux brought up a good point. Take the thicker bill holders and cut them down.
Oh wow, Mike!
I actually just pulled out one of my dance codes, and I just my coin shop gave me for change. They gave me some red seal $2, so I put those in the little plastic holders, and I just pulled a dance co out, and it is a good size. It would be the perfect size to cut them down. So he
winner.
Comment of this live stream goes to Boudreaux.
Yeah, very nice.
What's the saying? He won the internet tonight. Awesome. No, that's great. As soon as you said it, I pictured in my head. I was like, that's it. That's exactly what you need. That's perfect. And those things are relatively inexpensive. You get like a pack of 10, pack of 20 or something.
Yeah, probably get a couple strips out of each one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Double sided. So you'll get front and back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's oof. See, Mr. MJ Boudreaux. Hey, one of the modern mods, if you could, post a link to his channel, because he puts out great stuff. And see, great minds. Let me back up real quick and say, of course, we had Mr. Gypsy Wolves join us this evening. Thank you, my brother. Haven't chatted with you in a while, bro. Hope you are doing well in it. And Sheena Smith, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you being here. Did we have anybody else join us? Okay.
What are you talking about, Silver Wolverine? What do you mean about eggs?
He made a video on comparing the taste of normal chicken eggs versus duck eggs, and to this day, that's still his #1 video.
And was it just like a commentary video, or did you actually cook them on video or something, or did you show it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he did it all. Yep.
I got to go watch that. That sounds great.
Never mind the fact that he follows the Mint and the latest news related to supplies of precious metals and the spot prices. And nope, his #1 video is about eggs. Chicken and duck eggs.
So what was the outcome? Which one was better?
Yeah, watch the video.
Yeah, exactly. Good teaser. I was waiting for it. I was stressing you out right there.
Watch the video.
Hey, 101.
Yeah,
health-wise, the duck egg is better for you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some people who are allergic to chicken eggs. They can eat duck eggs. But then on the flip side, there's also people that are allergic to duck eggs. So
interesting.
You have to know, you have to try it, see if you have the allergic thing. But the duck egg is actually healthier for you. It's better for you.
Probably healthier fats, maybe, or something.
Yeah, well, the regular egg is good for you, but duck eggs are just much better. Well, plus they're bigger too. So,
So the question is, do they taste like chicken?
Hey, that's something you got to consider moving forward, John, is a little soundboard so you can hit that button for your drum roll. Just hit the button, boom.
Yeah, I need this new microphone that I got, it does have some
is that right?
extra features. Yeah, this Blue Yeti. Let me see if I can entertain you guys really quick. Where is it?
Now presenting our embarrassed leader.
Oh, you can hear your voice. Okay.
Yeah. Did you get the robot voice?
And hold on a second. And you didn't get one that did Darth Vader?
I'm just using whatever came with a mic. So trust me, there's a sound file.
Hey, Spread, exit and just say, "Oh man, something's not working right." Let me log off and I'll come back.
Oh, he was going. He got this one for the Cylons, is what he's doing. The Cylons from Buck Rogers.
Yeah, from Battlestar. Yeah. It's sort of robotic, but I was playing with it before we came on tonight, and I was like, it's not quite there, but it's got all these like reverb.
Are you doing a voice right now, or is there something wrong with the microphone?
I'm sorry.
Are you doing something with the microphone now? Because it sounds all chopped up.
Oh, does it? Let me check.
Is it just me?
No, I should be okay.
No, he's still got that synthesize
Yeah, something's going on.
Okay.
on.
Stand by.
Sounds like you're going to start singing Mr. Roboto. Hey, Gypsy Wolf, just start off to type it. Would you be interested? I know you're busy. Would you be interested in doing a cooking show? But like a mockumentary style cooking show.
Check 1 2 1 2 3.
Sounds like Twinkie. You sound good right there. Let's hear it again.
Check 1 2
Yeah,
3.
You're
There
good.
you go.
Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay,
go.
back to normal. Yeah, I've still got to learn all this, how to run out, all the little extra softwares and stuff. Because you got one for the mic, you got one for these, one for the camera, and then you got Windows, and it's just, and the OBS. So there's a lot going
Yeah,
on.
I don't know how you
I
do
got to
it.
learn.
It's like my brain doesn't function that way. I'll get overwhelmed, and it's my ADHD. I don't know.
Gypsy Wolf asked if the egg came first. I can answer that. No, because we would have ate it, and therefore we wouldn't have had a chicken. So
Oh, hey, speaking of which, could one of the mods post the link to post the link to that video in Silver Wolverine, so that way everybody can click and go right to it after the show and watch it.
Yeah, there you go. Great
The
idea.
duck chicken egg comparison video or review. See,
You need to
was
do
that-
one on an ostrich egg. That would be great.
Yeah.
Like an
I
ostrich egg.
think my third most viewed video is an energy drink review. Well, it's you'd be surprised. You could be a content, like if I start, putting him on screen and put in, hashtag, pit, he's a quarter pit bull. I put in there pit bull, or, he's a quarter pit, quarter boxer, and then 50% sporting breed. So, they think his dad was probably a retriever mix. So, because his face is, his snout's just a little more slender than it is wide, like more like the pit bulls and the bull terriers are. So,
Silver Wolverine. What was the video? I'm gonna have to watch that one too. That stuff it's got like 300 and something milligrams of caffeine in it. It's off the charts.
I think is it Bang Energy?
I couldn't handle it. I mean, I drink a Red Bull once in a while. That other one, it gives you fidgets. That stuff is wild.
Oh yeah, I can't do Monsters or Red Bull because they got that taurine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, can't do it. That messes me up, and I just feel funny, feel kind of a little flustered and everything.
Yeah,
I'm just
out
like,
of body, right? You just got like this constant like buzz going through your body, right?
no, it's not a buzz. It's more like, I feel like my chest is going to explode. So I'm like, nope, it's not worth it.
I look at those energy drinks like something's wrong if you have to drink an energy drink to have some energy to get something done. There's something else going on in your life.
Brett,
Yeah.
get some more sleep.
Well, I mean, coffee's been here since the beginning of time, and
And you don't really pay attention to it the way people refer to coffee all the time, but it really is. It's a stimulant, but it's talked about so passively, almost like it's water or something.
yes, I heard somewhere. I heard somebody said that caffeine is like the number one biggest legal drug, air
far.
quotes, in the
By
world,
Yeah.
because it's not really regulated. Hence the energy drinks. They put in tons of milligrams of caffeine in there, and there's really no regulation or any. I could be wrong. But as far as I know, there's no rules or regulations from the FDA or any other governing body that says you are limited to X number of milligrams of caffeine per serving.
Right.
It's crazy. And, honestly, if you need a drink or, energy boost, drink caffeine. I mean, drink coffee, it's been around since the beginning of time, but I think a lot of us don't need that extra caffeine too.
Even tea's got caffeine in it. So
Yeah. Even green teas, even the light
That's
color
what I
teas,
think.
like
I don't get a pickup from coffee. Even espresso, like you guys were saying earlier, I could drink it now and easily fall asleep if I had to in 2 hours, but tea is different. I get that little caffeine kind of pickup from tea.
Yeah. I don't, is caffeine? I don't know, but is it different like from a coffee source versus a tea source? I don't know. But yeah, I can tell, depending, well, there are really strong teas out there, like the Chinese oolong tea, brew black, really deep, really deep color, and it's just crazy. Ooh, it's really strong, almost too strong. I can't drink that much of the oolong. Hey, Spilt Paint, thanks for joining us. I don't know if we shot you out earlier, so thanks for joining us, Spilt Paint. Question. Let me catch up in the chat here a little bit. Right. What does it do to your blood pressure? Exactly. So, that's why I have to kind of cut off my caffeine intake at a certain point. I can't have, way too much, because I'll get jittery and I'll stay up, and, that's just not good for you. In the morning, you need a little help get going. Sure. But, after early afternoon, it's, no more caffeine, regardless of what source it comes from.
Yeah.
Hey, GW. Okay, great. Thank you. GW posted the link to the Silver Wolverine eggs review. So after the show, everybody head on over and give him a view and a thumbs up and a little comment in there to refresh his video, so we can keep it number one over all the coin and precious metal stuff. But Mr. Perpetrator, something I wanted to comment on is, what's great about your videos is you're doing stuff that I want to do. I'm looking at, you made two interesting points. One, a while back, you and I were chatting in the comments, and you made a great observation. Depending on where spot goes, you switch either from stacking or collecting. And I thought that was really cool. I was just like, that is really a great idea. Premiums are up, stay away from stacking because it's just too much, and then shift over to maybe the collectible side. And with me, collecting silver is, or gold stacking, I don't really have I don't have any gold collectibles per se. It's all regular bullion, but if you look at, if you look at your 90%, your quarters and your dimes and your half dollars, that's a great way to, kind of build your stack indirectly as you build your books and change out, one coin for a better looking one, or start filling in those gaps. And I just thought that was just a great idea. What made you think of that, train of thought?
When I started stacking in early 2019, when silver was about 15 an ounce, something like that. And I bought 10 ounce bars from JM, the Sunshine. I bought a bag of 90%. And then I started from there. I found my local coin shops and everything. And then once everybody remembers when silver dropped to $12, and then all the bullion dealers slowed down, and then the spot just started, heading up. What did it go to, like 28, 29? Right when that started happening, and I wasn't going to get into numismatics at all, but I saw something that I had all these coins, and I figured, well, since I got all these coins, let me see if I can put a set together. It's still part of the stack, because I wasn't going for the BU stuff. I was just like, let me see what I got in my tubes, because I was bored. And I was like, okay, I got enough to get some good collections going. And I made the switch, I guess, at the right time. And I was in because I needed some silver proofs to finish up some of the albums, or, fill those spots. I needed some P&D sets for the Franklins, the 60 to 63s, things like that. And I was in my coin shop, and silver took a big hike. I think what was it? 90% went from 13 times face to 20 times face.
Mm-hmm.
It shot up real quick.
Yeah, it was like literally overnight. Yeah.
And there was like 5 or 6 people in there digging through the bins, and I had just made my choice to, do the numismatics. And I'm in the coin shop, and I'm looking at the Benji P&D sets from, like I said, 60 to 63. And then I was looking at silver proof sets that my LCS had a whole stack of them because nobody wanted them. And what I saw was I was getting my P&D sets, when you averaged out for the silver, I was getting those for like 14. I was still getting those for 13 to 14 times face. Nice. The silver proof sets, 2000 to, I forget, 2000 to 2008. There was a limit there. I was getting those for 14 times face. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting BU coins, Benjamins, and the quarters and everything in those sets. And then I'm getting the 2000 to 2006 or 2008 silver proof sets from the mint. And I'm getting those $3, $4, $5, maybe $6 cheaper than the scratched up stuff in the junk bin at 20 times face. And I thought, wait a minute, something's wrong here. And then that's got me to the push to, hey, I need to get the more common BU coins before the spot price and before like your gray sheet and everything caught up to that price. And I tried to tell a bunch of people. I mean, I was on some big channels. I mean, guys that were hitting 100,000, and I'm telling them this, and everybody was doing the blowback and like, oh no, that stuff belongs in numismatic. That has nothing to do with the stack. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought silver was silver.
At $13.
I'm getting P&D set. I was getting the P&D sets. I went on to, matter of fact, Daniel from Coin Help You, he had a listing for the 62 or 63 P&D sets. I got them for $17 off of his website, and I bought every one he had. Nice. Silver had the 90% had hit 20 times face. Look up a P&D set from 60 to 63 and see what those are going for now on eBay. I don't think you can touch one for under $30. Oh, no. I was buying as many as I could for 17. I mean, I showed a bunch of them in the video. But I was told, oh, that stuff doesn't belong in a silver stack because it's numismatics. Like, wait a minute. I'm getting BU coins, no silver loss, and I'm getting them cheaper. But then it took a month or how often the gray sheet comes out. That kind of got lost, and the coin shops caught on to what was, they caught on to where they were losing money because they were selling those cheaper according to the gray sheet than what they were getting out of the junk bin. So you can't find that much anymore. But it wasn't until gray sheet caught on and actually raised the prices because spot and everything and the premiums had went up, and then that caused those sets to go up. And then that further solidified me just, going more numismatics, so I don't have to worry about the premium, because the numismatics coins are, pretty much, they're going to be what they are. It's they're still going to have their numismatic value no matter what. Where, you get your bullion coin, if you're paying what some people were paying, what was it, almost 30. Well, I know for a fact when I traded in my silver 10-ounce bars to my LCS to get my gold coins, I traded in at 64 to 1. And before I left the shop, my LCS had resold half of what I turned in at 31 an ounce. Oh, and they credited, the way we worked out the deal, they actually gave me 29 an ounce for my silver on that. Is how it mathematically worked out, 29 an ounce. And then they wrote down what they needed for the gold and everything. But they're giving me 29, and these guys are gobbling it up at 31. Well, what are they thinking now? $310 for a Sunshine 10-ounce bar, and you can pick them up for what, $240 now, $230?
Yeah, definitely sub 250s. You shop around, you can get a 10-ounce bar, cheap, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not saying numismatics are for that. Yeah, I'm not saying numismatics are for everybody, but it is an alternative if you don't want to pay the premiums. You can go for you don't have to get high. You know, if it comes down to some of the better high, or what is it, your key coins and stuff, you don't have to go high grade for it. You know, you go the lesser grade. Some people are like, oh, I got to have the highest grade or I'm not buying it. Hey, I love picking up the low grade semi key and key coins, especially when I find them in the junk bins. It's like, hey, I'll take those all day long.
Isn't that the most fun? I mean, honest to goodness.
Oh yeah, I did the video where I actually sat and had a chance to look through, it's like 1,200 Morgan dollars, and I spent the entire Saturday, I think it was, at this place looking through 1,200 Morgan dollars in their junk bin. And granted, they were selling them for $38 a piece, I think it was. And I had my list, but then I knew there was certain dates, regardless of the mint mark, like your 94s, I was looking for 95s, anything 93, 96s.
Limited vintages, yeah.
You know, things like that. And I was throwing those dates aside, but I saw an 03 and I didn't even look at the back of it. It was a nice looking coin. I threw it to the side. I found a 92. I found I can't remember the other one. Might have been an 80, 1880. I threw it aside. Didn't even look at the mint mark. I get home and I like to fell out of my chair because when I got to the 1903, I flipped it over and it was the New Orleans, and I'm like, holy cow, $38 for a 030. You know, that used to be until they found a massive hoard of them. That was the Mac Daddy coin at one time. And then I flip over 92. Oh, I got a 92 Carson City for $38. You know, that's a $250 coin in its condition. You know, and I just been hooked on the numismatics. You know, it just seems like for me, that's the better way to go. But it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. You stack, you buy what you like. I think the numismatics are something that's overlooked in the stacking community.
Stacking. When you say that, are you referring to appreciation of your investment, or are you referring to just strictly getting silver on the cheap?
Well, I'm looking at getting silver on the cheap, and that's what I was doing when I was buying those P&D sets and
yeah,
all
exactly.
those,
that's what I was curious. I mean, that obviously makes sense.
But I mean,
you're getting it less than what everybody's fixing the charge for it, and you're still picking it up at what it just moved off of, you know?
Yeah, and to me, I think in the long run, some of the numismatics are going to be, you know, are going to be. Some of your numismatics aren't susceptible to that roller coaster ride like we're seeing in silver.
So you are referring to more of like, you know, preservation of your investment, maybe growth of the investment, and that you know what makes something collectible is it's two things: the condition and the rarity of it, right? So when you can put that in a coin, let's say you've got something that's of limited mintage, and then you've got the top specimen or near the top specimen, you're not going to lose value in that, you know, unless somebody all of a sudden says, hey, who cares about coins anymore? Meanwhile, civilizations cared about coins ever since they can probably swing a hammer, you know?
Yeah.
And then I try to show, you know, even if you don't want to be in numismatics, and I use the Benjis because I think I'm getting ready to start my 13th album on Benjis. I just about finished. I'm almost done with the 12th one. It's like if you've got this guardhouse box full of Benjis, why not go through and see if you got a set? You know, put some sets together.
Listen,
you know, just to have some fun. You don't have to go out and buy the BU coins or
treasure hunting, right? It's literally treasure hunting. Why go in the hot sun and get your hands dirty? And I get metal detecting. That's fun because it's treasure hunting. But it's no different than what you're saying right now, stacking, going through a treasure trove of 2,000 coins, knowing the potential that something might be there, you know? What's wrong, Gypsy? What do you mean you can't swing a hammer?
Hey, well, real quick, real quick. Donald, New Mexico, my friend, my brother.
Hello,
thanks
Donald.
for joining us this evening.
And Split Paint. I don't know if you heard me earlier. Hello.
Does this happen a lot? I highlighted John's chat because, you know, do people actually do that? They go to like, what is it? Yeah, ANAC, you know, and get their graded coins. I mean, they're graded according to their company, and they did exactly what he did, is take it and, oh, look, there's something that wasn't put on here, and bust it open and send it off to NGC, PCGS to go get the, the additional, what's it called? The, what's
Attribution.
Attributions. Thank you. I guess it sounds like it's worth it. If you can find a deal on it's just, I just find it interesting.
well, listen, I bought a few slabbed Silver Eagles, and I hadn't even noticed it on camera. It wasn't until I received them that I said, wait a second. It was an NGC holder. It said it was an 87 Eagle, but inside the holder was an 86 Eagle. And I said, well, that's interesting. So it was mislabeled. And so I went on NGC, and even without an account with NGC, I spoke to somebody at customer service. He directed me on the appropriate paperwork. He actually emailed it to me. And other than the expense of my personal time, they paid the postage and everything. And I had to put together a box and package it, but it's called a mechanical error. And when I sent it in, I had to label every side of the box in black marker with the capital M and E on it, all over the box on every side, ME for mechanical error. And during the height of everybody waiting 4 or 5 months for coins to come back, maybe longer.
Yeah.
Now, it could be because I'm just south of Sarasota, and that's where NGC is. I'm an hour south. I got them back in 2 weeks, John. I got the coin back in 2 weeks in a brand new, acrylic holder with the correct label in it. And it didn't cost me a dime to do. So,
nice.
What was said earlier is absolutely a testament to looking at that stuff. And it could, sometimes somebody just sends it to get a grade, unless you say, hey, by the way, I need to know if this is the DDO or can you grade it as a DDO? They won't. And they're not looking at it. Or even if they notice it, you're going to get back the coin without any attribution unless you pay for it. So it's easy to think that you can go through something like that and discover something that was overlooked. Again, back to the treasure hunting mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's please.
Well, part of my philosophy now is, I have a lot of collections done, but when I go to my LCS now, I think I've stated this in some of the videos I'm actually more selective now. I'm not going in just to buy a tube of Buffaloes or a tube of Philharmonics or anything like that. I'm more selective. I'm going through the constitutional bins, and my LCS puts dimes, quarters, and the $50 in separate bins. And I'll just grab a bin, go sit at the table and go through them. I'm looking for the better dates, if there's any in there. I'm looking for coins that I need. And then along the way, if I find something that, like one of my recent videos, I didn't even realize when I'm going through it, and I was talking about something else while I was showing the coins, but I wound up with some BU 59 Washington quarters. And then I asked the question, if you're looking in your bin, if you're going through the bin, are you going to buy this, this ratty 36? Now, maybe you need it for your album, but if you're just buying the tube up, what would you rather have, the ratty 36 or this BU 59? And most some of the comments said, oh yeah, I want the BU 59. So I look for those, and I'm more selective. I'm trying to get more quality in my collection and in my stack, because I think down the road, having, you go to sell and you got you got tubes of BU quarters or BU Franklins or whatever the case may be. I think you're going to come out better in the long run by having better quality coins.
Yeah, because people, whether they're, collecting or putting it in an album, if there's a chance to get a coin in much better condition, they're going to jump on it.
Yeah, and then I got some flack from a couple of people saying they wouldn't buy low grade semi key or key dates. They wouldn't buy them. They're only going to buy the pristine coin. I did a video. I had 8 or 9 Carson Cities, Morgans. They were all low grades. And I think there was a 99 Philly in there and stuff. They were all low grades. I contacted Daniel and I sent him a picture, and, I said the dates and everything. I said, they're all low condition. He looked at it. He said, yeah, I'm interested. And, I said, I need this as a minimum price. He said, send them. So I sent them up. He looked at them. He showed them in one of his videos. That was one of my requests. He showed the coins. He did that. He listed them on his website. Less than 24 hours, he sold them all. I made a small profit to help with my collection. I sent these. I mean, they were all low grade, you know, right around the G4, maybe a little higher on a couple of them. But he listed them on his website. 24 hours, they were gone. People want, you know, those. Even if it's a low grade semi key or key date, or even a better date, even if it's low grade, there's always going to be a demand for it because somebody's going to need it to fill that spot in their collection.
Right.
And not everybody has the money to buy a high grade coin.
Well, there's a fine line there too. I mean, if you're going to hold out for that pristine specimen or the one that's going to match, you know, the set that you're putting together, you may not see it forever, right? But that doesn't necessarily say go out and spend, you know, a mini fortune on something just to fill the spot, because if that's the case, you know, if it's something that's very costly, then I just assume, you know, why put the money into something when you probably are still going to be searching for that pristine, you know, shape. But if it's something that's just like, you know, I need a book filler, I'd spend, you know, 20 on a rattier looking one, then 200 on the nice one. You know, when I find the nice one, I'll get that then. But for $20, I'll put that in my book right now. One in the hands, worth two in the bush, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. If it comes to better dates, semi keys, and key dates, if you find one in low condition and you pick it up and put it in your collection, you can always upgrade later on, and
right.
You'll have no problem selling the one you're using for a spot filler. You will have
right.
no problems.
Just don't buy an AU coin at MS66, you know, prices. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, people shy away from it. And I understand their reasons. Some people only, you know, that's all they want to put in their collection.
Well, they might wait for forever, you know.
But you can make some money,
sure,
to fund your thing if you're looking for these. And, you know, of course, you got to make sure the price is right and everything, and have an outlet to sell. But
have something that's relatively liquid, right? I see so many people, for whatever reason, either stack or to purposely immediately flip. They'll get something that's of limited interest, and then they wonder why nobody wants to get what it's like. You got something that's limited in collectability, or limited in appeal, or maybe that was passing, you know, in appeal or something like that. So you have to be conscientious of what you're getting for when you may have to, you know, convert it back to cash or something.
Yeah, and something after I sold those 9 to Daniel at Coin Help You, I ran into some more coins, and I was going to, because I kind of knew what Daniel would pay me for those. And I was talking to my girlfriend, and she's like, well, wait a minute, you're going to send those up. Why don't I buy them from you? Excuse me. And let's put them in, and let me put them in my collection, or, you know, into her son's collection, so that he'll have something of high value. I mean, I figured out what Daniel was going to give me, and she didn't want to just pay me what I actually paid. She wanted to, because she knew I was going to use the money to buy something else that I was missing in the collection. So she gave me a little premium. I didn't sell it to her for what I would have got from Daniel. I gave her a discount, obviously. And then I got to realizing, you know what? That's what got me to say, okay, I need to put away, instead of selling off these things, I need to put them away, because as time goes on, you know, what happens if you got your stack and you don't have anything, even, you know, the low grade, better coins, better dates and mint marks? What happens if silver's down, and that's when you got to sell? You know, but if you've got some of the numismatics put away also, you know, you'll make more money selling those, and you may not have to sell your stack. You know what I'm saying?
You may have to pass along your secrets to Donald in New Mexico. He commented that there you go.
Hey, real cool. Just the I don't like saying circle back for reasons, so backtrack is what I'd rather say. It's a circle back. Anyway, fantastic coin card and coin guru. Hey, thank you for joining us this evening, by the way. And I think his question's kind of tailored to what we've been talking about. He's mentioning here, I just started a typeset. Should I buy lower grade or buy the grade at the level I like? I think both of you were kind of speaking to that. And just real quick, also, Mr. Resnick, high grade types are tough. Be prepared to spend. Plus, if they're high grade, I go with slabs only. Real quick, could one of you two talk about what a typeset is for starters, and then kind of bridge towards Fantastic's cards question?
I'm one point.
I'm not sure.
I'm one point away. I'm 1 coin away from finishing my Dansko 7070. I need a standing Liberty, or seated Liberty dollar. I need one of them. There's 2 versions you got to put in. I need the second version. I gotta say, if you're doing the collection, buy the coin you like for the spot. And then if you run across the better one down the road that's even better than what you have and you want to upgrade, then do that. Buy the coin you can afford. Don't go overboard. Just buy what you like. My typeset, I've actually upgraded it. I actually have the key coin for the Indian heads. I have a 1877 Indian head. I don't collect the Indian heads at all, but I found one. It's a low grade, but I got a really good deal on it. So that went in my typeset. So I do have some key coins. I'm trying to convert some of my standing or my seated Liberty stuff to have it all Carson cities. But with a typeset, my not financial advice or whatever, you just buy the coin you like. If when you're working on it, you don't have to jump on the first thing you see. Look and see what's out there and just buy whatever's in your budget and the coin you like and go from there.
Ms. Boudreaux, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. That's great advice. You don't want to buy something that for one way or another, you're going to end up regretting, either regretting that you bought it and now you're forced to sell it because you overspent and you didn't budget your funds, right? Or you bought it and you realize, well, maybe I didn't spend the right amount, or, I should have held out because 2 weeks later, here's the exact one I was waiting for at the same price. Whatever the case may be, buy it where you have developed a comfort. And before you buy anything, do exactly what Stacking said. Do your homework, do research, right? Do your due diligence and then buy with a level of confidence that you don't have any kind of regret. Even if you get to where, you're in a tough spot in a month, something unexpected comes up, kids' tuition comes up more than you thought, whatever comes around, that the thing can still be sitting in your safe. It's not like, oh man, I can't even eat because I bought something, let alone bills, but because I bought something that I shouldn't have bought or I couldn't have afforded, right? Hi, Lisa.
Yeah. Lisa,
somebody else.
Go ahead. Good evening. Thanks for joining us, Lisa. Please, Ms. SP.
Somebody made a comment. I don't know where it went because you flashed 2 of them up. Somebody said something about buying the high-grade coins in the slab. I personally do not like slabs. I prefer my coins raw. But I will say, if you're buying a key date or semi-key date, like we'll take the 16D for instance, the Mercury dime. I purposely bought mine in a slab, even though I wanted a raw coin.
Peace of mind.
I wanted to make sure I had a legitimate coin.
Yeah, we went back to buying stuff from the mint. It's peace of mind. There's a value on peace of mind.
I'm not talking people out of slabs. That's me personally. I don't like my coins in slabs, but when it came to getting my 16D, yes, I went with a graded PCGS. And when I buy my 93S Morgan, I will get a graded one. I will not, even though I know the diagnostics of it, I will not buy a raw one. I will buy one in a slab.
Gennax.
So.
Yeah, what this guy said. Yeah, and we all know that Mr. Gennax knows his sense for sure. But no, you guys are right. The key here is do your due diligence and do what you enjoy.
And make a confident purchase, right?
Exactly. And if you don't feel confident, then
Then do more homework.
Yeah,
Then
do more due diligence. Yeah, exactly. Do more homework. You know,
Right.
reach out to people you trust, and educate yourself before you make that leap. Because you don't want regret, and you don't want to hurt yourself that affects other things outside of coins. So
Right.
Yeah. If
time is your friend. I think with things like this.
even
So
if you're
I have a question. I mean, just to kind of, I don't mean to shift focus.
No,
We're still talking about coins, but
Please.
I always, and this, this may serve in future streams, John, or stacking, if you guys ever have people come up on panel. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So I had something that happened earlier in the year that prompted me to pose this question to other people, collecting coins, friends. And it wasn't that I thought I would not get an answer. I was curious to see all the different answers I would get, right? And the hobby touches us in many different ways. So, John, if I could ask you a question, and if you don't mind, maybe elaborating just a little bit. Do you remember, and this goes for everybody, and this is for you to use on other streams. Do you remember the person, the event, the place, or the coin that got you into coin collecting? And what was it about it that did?
Yeah. As soon as you said that, it immediately popped in my head.
Over you, right?
I'm sorry?
It comes right over you, doesn't it?
You hit it as soon as you were saying it, just meaning the coin that started it all. And folks, give me a minute. I want to go get it. Okay, because it helps drive this point.
While he does that, and I don't want to take away from when John comes back, but just a simple yes or no, or maybe a minute's worth. Do you remember the person, event, place, coin that got you into coin collecting or excited about coins?
Oh yeah, I talked about that earlier. It was 2020 when the premium shot up. That's when that converted me over to getting into numismatics.
But prior to that, you weren't collecting any coins as a kid. You didn't come across a silver dollar or something like that you got your attention or anything like that.
No, I mean, you'd find a silver coin every once in a while in change. You just, I just throw it in a box. I never got right into the coins.
Yeah, you never got it. Right. So Gypsy Wolves, I see your question. Like the thing that got you into coins, whether, let's say as a kid, maybe your grandfather gave you a Kennedy silver $50 and you just remember it. And somehow you knew that was the link, whether it was 40 years later or throughout your adolescence, that you always put coins in a drawer you knew that they were different, or you knew that there was something special about it, or you knew that you had a connection with it. Not so much like, oh man, I'm going to make money off of this, or I'm going to get it graded. I don't think anybody thinks like that as a kid, but there's a connection, I think, when you're young to now, even if you're decades removed from it, and I bring this up because I would like to share a story, and I hope everybody, there's Gunny, and I told Gunny this story. And it's to me, it was a moving story, but I want everybody else to tell their story. What do you got there, John?
Hey, real quick, Gunny, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Our friendly neighborhood gunnery sergeant. So thanks for joining us. And real quick to Joel Kirby, thanks for joining the discussion tonight. Appreciate you being here.
I love how everybody's already starting to write in chat the answer to the same question. I mean, because look how passionate it is, and the recall, right, for something that everybody enjoys and what is bringing us together, right?
Yeah.
I see all kinds of things, people talking about family and stuff. It's just beautiful. Well,
everybody would think, for me, the coin that would start it all would be either Star Wars, Star Trek, or something.
No, it had
science fiction or like that. No, believe it or not, no. This is the coin that started it all, believe it or not. And it's not even a bullion. Try to get the light just right.
Is that a lion?
Nope, that is the. Here, let me turn the light off so you get maybe some
a
little bit of that reflection off. Come on. There we go. This is the silver replica of the coin from the John Wick movie series. And this is don't hate. This is from AtMex.
What's not wrong with that, Max? Why would you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, people moan and groan about, their prices and everything, but yeah, this is what's kind of started it all. I saw this, I was just like, that's just right from the movie. And they also have the gold too. I mean, the gold's out there. I don't know if it's still available, but it's definitely on the bucket list for me to get, because that, being the 1 ounce gold with this, looking like the movie replica, that's what kind of it's the spark that started it all. It wasn't Star Wars. It wasn't Marvel or anything. Nope. I didn't know any of that stuff existed, but I'm a big fan of the John Wick movie series. And I saw this just out of the blue and I was like, okay. And that's what kind of started me on this path. So thank you, Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's funny.
The journey is different for everybody.
All right. So can I tell a long-winded story? Another one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I grew up in upstate New York, what I call upstate New York. It was an hour above New York City, but we lived amongst the Catskill Mountains, the Shawangunk Mountains, the Appalachian Trail ran through there. There was dairy farms. We grew up in the woods. That's just how it was. And it's really an old part of the country. So I'm telling you, it was before. I remember being in the house because it's 6th grade. We moved to a different part of the area. So it was prior to that. And so somewhere I figured between 1977 and 1980, as around an 8-year-old kid playing kickball in the backyard with my brother, I was, at what would be considered the plate, which was just a mound of mud, right? Just like brown dirt. And I'm scuffing the dirt up and I see the perfect round circle in the ground. And I'm like, well, that's a weird looking rock. It was just flat. And so I reach down and I look at it and I pick it up, and it's an 1857 Flying Eagle penny. And I was,
wow.
Now imagine this is 1977, 1980, even though that might seem like a long time ago for a young guy like Gypsy Wolves. It's still a long time ago, right? 1857. So I was just at 8 years old. I was enamored with the date on it. I was enamored with the fact that it didn't have Lincoln on the front. It had an eagle on it, and on the back, it didn't look like the pennies I remembered. So throughout my childhood and adolescence, of always spending the silver $50 I had to buy Twin Pops on the way home from school, or asteroids at the arcade, like games, the coin changing machine. You know what I'm talking about? Foolishly spending stuff that we had no clue of what we were doing.
Yeah.
I managed to hold on to this penny. It just meant so much to me, And in my early 20s, I moved from New York to Florida. Now, prior to moving here, I'd spent a lot of time as a 18, 19, 21, 22-year-old getting into trouble, doing stupid stuff that would impair my memory and all this other stuff. And somewhere along the way, I lost sight of where the coin went. I never knew what I did with it. And I knew I would never have sold it. I've gotten expensive baseball cards for pennies on the dollar, not knowing what I had in retrospect, thinking about it. But I never remember getting rid of the penny, but I never remember what happened to it. And even now, in the past 2 years, like you said, John, a year and a half, you've been collecting coins. For me, like collecting them seriously, 9 months, 10 months, but being in the community a little bit longer than that, over a year, I always remember this penny, because this penny is what got me into coins. So flash forward however many years, and I'm in New York in March, and I go up there and everything I'm excited about is coins. So this and that. They're like, oh, what's been going on? Oh man, you guys got any coins I can look at? And my brother brings out a coffee can of pennies, and everybody's got something. And my sister-in-law works at a bank, and my nephew took me to the bank, and I got a hoard of silver coins and one of my wounded eagles and stuff. So everybody was hip to me, like getting excited about coins. Well, the day we were leaving to come back, my dad was taking me to the airport. We were waiting for a ride. My nephew comes down, my sister's son, and he's like, hey, Uncle Vinny, would you look at all of these coins I have? And I said, sure. And a lot of them are from World War II, like Japanese pesos from World War II and stuff. And I'm like, these are cool. So I took a bunch of pictures and I said, I'll let you know what I can find on them. And then he proceeds to look me dead in the face and says, oh, yeah, I got this old penny. He goes, what do you know about that? And I looked in his hand and the chills came over. I'm like, where did you get that? I'm like, where did you get that? I said, let me see that. And I took it out of his hand. 1857 Flying Eagle penny. As soon as it touched the palm of my hand, I knew it was the penny that I had lost track of 20 years earlier. He's 20 years old. How did he get this penny? So I couldn't get over it. I kept looking at him like, where did you get this? Where did you get this? Where did you get this? You know? And nobody knew where he got it, but we deduced that my mom maybe picked it up and threw it in the penny jar, and he went through it one day or something, and he snagged it and knew it was something. So, you know, I gave him something nice for it, but I took the penny back, and I still have the penny today.
There it is. Oh, wow. That's
go.
awesome. That is awesome. You know, it's amazing because
That's when I was 8 years old. I'll be 50 next month. Gypsy's going to be, what, 28 the day before me next month. And it's been a long time, but I got it back. Look at that thing. Isn't that amazing?
That is awesome. You know, and it's the story behind it that is just as compelling as the coin itself. It's, you know, and that's what's great about this community. You know, we all, you're right. We all have that, you know, that coin that that sparked it all. And, you know, when you asked me the question, I immediately went to this because this is what started it for me. And it's not an ASC. It's not a anything. It's a replica from a movie. And
Yeah,
it wasn't a Star Wars movie either.
Look at the influence it had, right? Look at the influence it had.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's just, yeah. And thanks for sharing. That's a wonderful story.
Oh my God.
Wonderful.
It came over me when he held it out. I'm like, where did you get that? I couldn't unfocus from. And then the whole way home to the airport, you know, driving in the car, I kept checking my pocket to make sure it was in my pocket.
Yeah.
At the airport, on the airplane, when I got home. Oh, I know what happened. So when I got home, and then the whole, like, you know, the whole bustle of getting ready for an airplane trip and the in and out of the airport, and I got home and I could actually have silence. I remembered one thing when I kept asking him, where did you get it? Where did you get it? And he's like, I don't remember. And then my dad chimes in perfect fashion, like I always remember. And he's like, you know, in his accent and everything, he's like, probably Greg gave it to him. That's his dad, you know. I'm like, hell, Greg wouldn't give him that. Greg doesn't know anything about coins, you know. And it didn't occur to me till I got home, and that silence in the voice, the way he kind of motioned down with, I said, that's a classic my dad move of like deferring attention. I'm like, he probably took the coin at some point or had it, and then Chris got it from him, you know. So it's just kind of, yeah. But there's a lot of great stories out there. I'm looking at them in the chat, and as you get people to come up, you just got to have everybody. That should be like, you know, that one question everybody gets asked.
No, I'm going to borrow that. I'm going to. Everybody's witnessing. I'm borrowing his idea.
Hi, Mrs. Coin Crew.
Credit to yeah. Hey, Mrs. Coin Crew, thanks for joining us. Another great fun day Sunday with the Coin Crew, and I think they just put out some info on the upcoming 5K celebration. So head over to their channel and make sure you show them love and support and join the big party. I think also there was some real quick Can. Hey, yeah, here we are. Hey, thanks for joining us, Mr. Can. Yeah, that's what's great about our community. Everybody's all interconnected and everything. I think that's just great. So, hey, Mr. Perpetrator, do you kind of have a story like this? No, you know, what was the one? Was there one coin that kind of started it all for you?
No, it was what I told earlier.
I'm sorry, I was off. Yeah.
Follow-up question: between your stack and your coin collection, what's your most favorite coin or silver that you have in your stack or your collection?
That's a good question.
What's your favorite? If you had to sell, it'd be one of the last ones you'd sell.
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
Well, we know you wouldn't sell the Flying Eagle scent, but
Yeah.
Oh, never.
No.
For $20. I mean, honest to God, that's what I kept telling my nephew. I'm like, it's worth $20, man. I said, it came out of the ground.
my favorite is when I was going to a junk bin. I got a 1869 Seated Liberty quarter, and unfortunately, I can't tell if it's the Philadelphia or the S, but it was in the junk bin, and those are. If I can prove it's the Philadelphia, there was only 12 or 16,000 minted. So it's a rarity on its own, and it's low grade, obviously, because I can't tell. That's one of my favorites. And then the other one was, I did a video on it, was my Seated Liberty half, which I got out of a junk bin at 20 times face. And the date was the last 2 digits were messed up. And I actually spent, I think it's about 2.5 hours. And I used, I can't remember the guy's name now. I mentioned it in the video, but they wrote, him and another guy wrote the books on the different mint marks, and kind of like the VAM book for the Morgans. Well, they did something similar for the Seated Liberty halves, and I got a 1863 broken S. But I spent the 2.5 hours, and through their work, like doing my research to figure it out, through their work that they had done, I was able to specifically identify the date on this coin, even though the date was damaged. And those are my 2 favorites. If I sold those, I'd hang on to those.
Just yeah, I mentioned the half-ounce proof from this year, from the mint. I mean, that's why I don't even keep it in my safe. It's in the safe box at the bank, and it sounded funny, but every couple of months I'll just go in and just look at it and be done and come back. But and then you refer to the Flying Eagle, and then you refer to the one that you picked. I think some of the most treasured, even though we work hard for the money we earn to buy the ones that are hard to find, I think some of the most treasured ones are the ones we find in the wild. I enjoy coin roll hunting, right? I enjoy going through bins. Can and I at the coin show last year sifted through a huge Tupperware sitting on the table, and I found a beautiful 53 D Benji booger nose. I mean, it's got the 2 spikes coming right out of his nose, and that came out of the bin. I paid $16 for it.
Yeah, those are just, you get excited about those, and that's what I like. I like sitting with the junk bins and going through versus looking at some of the slab stuff. I like to see what
the goal for the next one is just to spend more time doing that.
And those coins are out there. You got to go.
No. I was going to say I have to get off my lazy butt and finally meet we got 2 pretty good coin shops in the Huntsville area, and I have yet to go meet the guys.
Like retail, it's like park your car in the parking lot and then walk into the coin shop. Like it's a, here the only ones I found are it's like an office, and it's almost like you have to make an appointment and go in there. And I'm like, where's the coin shop with the glass cases, and I can look at stuff,
Yeah, well, unfortunately, some coin shops they milk it for every dime, and I'm just luckily out of the 5, I've got 2 that sell at really good prices, and one of them's a wholesaler. They're not looking for bottom dollar. They're just looking what I call turn and burn. They're just
keep moving it.
Keep going for volume versus milking it for what it's worth. So I'm lucky. I'm lucky on that point.
She said, "Get off that butt, Mrs. Coin Crew said, get off that butt." Well, we need a Coin Crew coin shop here in Florida.
Well, I tell people, I do have a local coin shop that I frequent, fairly often, but they just happen to be in Michigan. So take it for what it's worth. Okay, so to answer your question, and actually, I had to think hard on it because there's a couple of coins that I have that are, that are what you're talking about. One of them, believe, is the error coin for the Wolverine from the Marvel series, the one that has the wrong year on it. I got one of those.
Ah, cool.
But that's not the coin you're talking about. So everything, the one I would probably keep and this is really corny, folks, and no, it has nothing to do with Star Wars. This is going to be really corny. Is I picked up a 1987 proof, 1987 San Francisco proof or West Point. I can't. Well, 1987 ASC proof. The reason that one means the world to me is that is the year I earned my Eagle Scout badge in the Boy Scouts.
That's awesome.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So,
and is there anything better than an eagle on any coin, whether it's the penny, whether it's the eagle, the $1 eagle, whether it's a quarter? Is there anything better or more epic than the eagle on the coin? Think about it. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Beautiful. When I had started this whole journey, and I didn't, totally clueless about, how long they've been making gold or silver eagles, And, when I started learning, I was like, oh, they may start in 86. Well, something happened in 87 that's important to me. So one of my goals is everything that was minted in 1987, I'm going to get.
There you go.
Right or wrong, if I had to go out and get, buy a graded, because it's the only way to get this, particular coin. If it was minted by the mint in 1987, I'm going to add it to my collection because that year's significance to me.
Do you have the 87 uncirculated set?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I actually got it from, the lady that,
I was going to send it to you. Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah, I got it from her.
Cool.
Yeah, she hooked me up on a good deal on it. Because I think her words were like, either buy it from me or I'm going to break it open.
I think there's a big misconception out there that all the good coins and all the rarities and all that have already been found. I'm telling you, that is not true. When you think about it, there are so many semi-key, better dates, key coins and stuff. All your LCSs, they do not most of them. There are a few that do, that I've seen where they have employees that scrutinize everything that comes in, and they each have their own field of expertise. But there is no way a coin shop is going to be able to scrutinize every single coin, mint mark, variation. They cannot do it. I even, doing one of my quarter fills and spot fills or upgrades in one of my albums, one of my viewers caught that I had a variation. They caught it in the video. I didn't even know I had the variation, and it was the small motto on the one of the Washington quarters. I think 30 might have been the 34, and they spotted that I had the what is it? It's the light motto. There's a light and then a heavy motto, and they spotted that I had the light motto, and the light motto is the more expensive one.
Yeah, so Keith posted it right there. Look, Coin Crew, we can't look at everything. Oftentimes when you buy these big collections, I mean, you could, the collections I think are being, and I could be wrong, I'm not a coin dealer, but I think the collections are being bought to cherry pick, right? You're looking at, you could sell off the lot of what is part of what you bought, but not what is of interest to you. You're buying a collection maybe to cherry pick what's of interest to you, or what you can make immediately money, cash off. And the other stuff you're okay with throwing in a bin because you made your money already, and then you sell those off piece at a time here and there. But look at just
I'm curious as to like the true stackers that aren't in numismatics, that are buying the dimes, the quarters, the half dollars, and all that. I'm curious to know the guys that have those full guardhouse boxes of how many coins they have in there that actually have really good numismatic.
Thanks for joining us, Keith.
Yeah,
they just don't know they have it, and it's like, at least when you're buying,
say it, but they probably don't even
look at them.
They probably don't even care.
They probably got coins in there that they could sell and buy a whole nother roll of whatever it is they're putting in the guardhouse box. Yeah. But the stuff's out there. We just gotta find it.
And that's kind of part is the thrill of the hunt, right?
I mean,
that feeling that just comes over when you find something that's satisfying. I got it.
Back in 2020 when I switched to numismatics, I pulled like my walking Liberty halves. I pulled them out to start filling spots in the book. I didn't care what condition, just fill in the spots. And here, lo and behold, I had a 38D that I had got for like 13 times faith. You know, that's where I got my first one from. So stuff's out there. And I'm just
you always hope you're going to find it, right? And then when you do, you're still excited. When I was hunting the sack dollars a week or two ago, you know, you're always like on the edge of your seat, hoping you're going to. And then when you do, it's still like, oh wow, I can't believe I have it, right? It's that's what's exciting about looking for varieties and errors is the treasure hunt aspect of it. It really is. I mean, we talked about that earlier. It's you know, kind of sleuthing it out, doing a little bit of homework, and at the end of the day, getting lucky, right?
Yeah, there's probably maybe a handful of people throughout the entire world that have that photographic memory that would actually know every variation, every mint mark, you know, all of that. But you got a handful of people that could do that. This stuff's out there. We just got to find it, and you can make some money just you know. You can make some money if you look for stuff, but you know, there again, when we're sitting and looking for it, you know, we still don't, you know, what do we miss? We're specifically like, if I'm sitting down going through a tub of something, how many things did I miss because maybe I'm focused on looking for others, you know, certain things, and I'm still missing some of the other stuff. You know, you just can't know it. You just don't know it all, but it's out there to be found.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just a hobby. I mean, it's certainly, it becomes a passion for so many. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also, I wanted to kind of piggyback on this, and we hinted to this earlier, and I think Stacking would agree with me. You know, I started this off as just, you know, blinders on. All I want to do is stack. But you know, over this time, I've realized, you know, in my opinion, you should that's giving advice. In my opinion, for me, I like the idea of adding collectibles, you know, the numismatic, you know, with the stack, because I think it's a wonderful complement. Because you mentioned it, Stacking, because depending on what's going on with the market, you know, if you sell, you know, your stack, you're going to lose. But if you sell your numismatic for, you know, whatever reason, hey, you're going to get more of your money back, or maybe even make a profit. So I think, for me, I want to diversify because, you know, I kind of have my hands in both pockets, so to speak. So I think, you know, for me, it's important to, and, you know, by, you know, adding the numismatic to, you know, my stack or my collection, you know, it gives me that kind of adds an additional fun factor to it. You know, I can go out and look, oh, look, I don't have that to put in my album. Oh, you know, get that little, you know, giddy feeling, you know, putting in that new, you know, that coin in that empty slot, or you're finding like we talked about before, finding a better quality, you know, or a better condition and swap it out, you know. Yeah, and that's something I think our community sometimes doesn't point out, is the fun, you know, the fun factor to, you know, stacking and or collecting, because sometimes it's lost in the noise. And, you know, and I think that's kind of a fundamental, because if it's not fun, why are you doing it?
Yeah, it's like I pointed out when I do my standing liberty quarters, when I'm working on that, a lot of stackers are happy as all can be to get totally slicked out standing liberty quarters, and you know, hey, well, I'm plucking these out of the constitutional bin. I've actually made a change, because I used to do that also. Now, matter of fact, I traded all my slicks out, and the only standing liberty quarters that I will put in a tube to tube up for my stack, I only buy the ones with a date, has to be visible for the date, and where the mint mark is has to be clear enough to determine if it's a Philly, Denver, or, you know, or a San Francisco. Yeah. If it doesn't have a date and the mint mark clear, I pass them up. And that's just part of me changing how I do things. I'd rather in my stack have better quality for down the road, because, you know, you walk in, you know, which is better if you're selling, you know, and you got all slicked out standing liberty quarters versus a tube of all dated ones, you should be able to get more money for the tube that has dates present, you know, over the slicks. You know, it depends on the LCS too, what they're doing, but I've switched and going for quality. And then
Oh yeah, sure.
some people say, well, you're not so much of a stacker, you're more into numismatics. And like, because I do so many Benji albums, and I've showed them all on my videos.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my Benjis. I have my main set, which is totally BU, and then I have a couple other sets that are BU also. But what is it, like 9 sets that I have that are just a mix of circulated or BUs. I look at that as that's part of my silver stack. That's part of my constitutional stack. I just happen to be putting it a complete set together. If it comes time to sell, I can either try to sell the set as a set, and if I can't get the money that way, then I'll pop all the coins out. I'll keep the 48s, the 49s, the 50 or the 52s, the 54s, the 55, and the 56. I'll keep those, and I'll sell the rest of them as constitutional price. I'll hang on to the better dates. But that's just a continuation of my stack. I'm just not doing it in tubes. I'm doing it in album collections, just to take, just to break up the boredom.
Yeah, bring the fun back into it. Yeah,
yeah. I'm having fun with it.
Oh yeah, and like if I find, if I'm swapping out a coin I already have for something that's better, I still keep the other one because that kind of builds the constitutional stack. It in kind of an indirect way.
Yeah, so, that's how I got in my barber half, quarter, and dime collection. It started because I had them tubed up, and I remember buying. I laid the coins out one day, and I realized how many different dates and mint marks I had. So I researched, and I got the cheapest deal I could for my albums, which they were all new old stock Danskos.
Yeah,
I got them in, and I started putting my barber halves in, and I'm like, holy cow! I'm like really close. Now I'm down. I need 9 to finish out the set. It all started because of stacking. They're still part of my stack. If I ever go to sell it, if I can't get a good price for the collection, I'll pop the key, send my keys out, sell off the rest as constitutional, whatever. And I do the upgrades. I don't care if the coin would still, let's say, G4. I don't care if I've got another coin that is still going to grade a G4. If it's more eye appealing than the one I have in there, I'm going to swap it out. If the rim just has a little better detail, I'll swap it out just to have the better rim in the collection.
Yep.
If that one I pull out goes in a tube, that I have put away for the stack.
Or goes into another album if you decided, to do another one.
Yeah, I'm not doing another barber half.
Too much work.
Man, how many of the same album can you get?
I'm real close. I'm real close on the barber quarters too, but I know there's 2. I can't remember. It's a 01 O or S and 13S. I'll never get those because what is it? A fair 2 is still a $4,000 coin. I'm not buying those. So that quarter album, 2 spots will always be empty because I'm not putting that kind of money into those. Maybe years down the road. But no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
I think my 93S will be the most expensive coin I buy to finish off that Morgan. The Morgan
that's
set.
Awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. Really quick, Keith, Coin Crew, hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us. And great, another successful and fun day Sunday with the Coin Crew. And I mentioned it before, they got the 5K subscriber celebration coming up. So be sure to head over and show love and support, show love and support, for Keith and Angel and the Coin Crew. So always a great day with them on Sundays. Also, real quick, Bees Nuts, hey, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Yeah. Keith loves saying this YouTube.
Oh, I think it's fantastic.
Anytime he Bees Nuts pops in, he's just, no, I won't do it. That's Keith's thing. I'm not gonna go there. And we got what are the possibilities? And we'll come back to this question. I think that's a good question. That's actually on my list. That's actually a question I wanted to definitely pose to
there goes Bees Nuts.
Yeah. And I think I had Mr. John Jake. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, John Jacobs What's up? Thanks for joining us, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Graded bullion. If you
Yeah.
like it, if you like graded bullion, hey, by all means, but do your research and get your best price. You know, to shop around to get whatever slab, or if you want PCGS or NGC, shop around. That's your thing. Hey,
I don't mean to sound naive, but can you give me an example of graded bullion?
Your proof ASCs, your regular bullion ASCs that they're putting in slabs.
Graded gold.
Okay,
yeah, graded gold.
You're talking about the ASCs with no mint mark on them at all.
Yeah, just
because you said
yearly bullion or your gold coins or the gold your gold eagles.
Yeah, well, mine's a proof W, so that one's I think outside of that scope. But I wouldn't send that in, and that's maybe you guys could speak to this. So it's one thing to find a 54 Benji in circulation or find it in a slab when the coin was a coin that was used for commerce, right? But these eagles, and please don't get me wrong, I love eagles. It's my favorite. But to have an eagle, and if it's a common issue, common mintage, right? What's the significance of sending it for grading? What are you going to get? You're going to get a 69 or a 70, right? So why would you mentioned this earlier, stacking. I'd rather have mine stacked in the boxes, and I'd like to open the box. I like to take the COA off the coin and the holder, and then I like to pull the holder out and hold it that way, and admire it that way.
Yeah, it's a personal preference. For my ASE collection, I'm actually going to do a video.
Hi, Dutchman. Good evening.
I'm going to do a video of my whole ASE collection at one point. I have most of your specials, the proofs, the reverse proofs, the enhanced proofs, and all that. I have those in raw form, but I do have a few that are in slabs. Like from the year they had the 5-coin set, and there was only 2 you could get out of that. I have those in slabbed and graded, but they wound up being cheaper buying those 2 that way versus buying somebody selling the set and everything. It was cheaper for me to get them slabbed. So that's the reason I have a few bullion coins in the slabs for the ASCs. But personally, I'd rather have them raw and in the original packaging. But that's just me. Now I'll tell you, I did a video on this too. But the last, what was it, 2020? When did we get the two coin? Last year, 2021.
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
We got the type 1 and the type 2 in that box set. I managed to get one myself, and then my dad got one. Or wait,
you're talking about the limited edition?
Yeah, it had type 1 and type 2 in it.
Yeah, the limited edition, the big one. Well,
yeah,
not the big set.
Type 1 and type 2 as well, but I just wanted to make sure you're talking about the big box, right?
No, not the big, just the 2 ASCs, just the 2-coin set.
That was a reverse proof, wasn't it?
Reverse proof.
Reverse proof. Yeah, the reverse proof.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the other ones did come in the regular proof, not the reverse, in the regular, but they came in the limited edition set at the end of the year, which wasn't that popular, but I like it. I have them.
Yeah, I don't buy those, but just the 2-coin set, the reverse, I guess they were the reverse proofs or the enhanced reverse proofs, whatever they were. Anyway, they were $175 from the mint site. I had my dad on. I wanted one set. I wound up, after, how the computer glitches and all that, I managed to get one. My dad was trying, but I wound up getting one and having it sent to him. And then I said, well, we're good. I got lucky. We've got 2 now. One's coming to you. One's coming to me. We're good. But he played around and got one for my nephew, his grandson. And so we wound up getting 3 sets. I sold one of mine to my coin shop for, I think it was almost $300, because they had a customer that wanted one. So I sold it to my coin shop for $300. I come in
reverse proof set?
The reverse proof set. Yeah.
That's nuts. Wow.
But I come in 2 days later into my LCS, and he says, here, you might be interested in these. And he shows me 2 box sets. They're graded NGC, with the hand signed signatures of the two whatever people that signed them, and he says I can give you these for $190 each. I'm thinking, wait a minute, the set cost $175 from the mint. These were sent to NGC, put in slabs with hand signatures on each coin, and I just sold you a raw set for $300 for right at $300, and you're going to sell me these for $190 each. I bought both sets that he had. You look on eBay, they're $1,400 to $1,800 for that set. Is what, because of the signatures and everything. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I'm going in the coin shop, selling them a raw set for $300 that they can sell off to a customer of theirs because they want a set, and then they turn around and offer me the same sets back, only in slabs with signatures for $190. I was like, I'm still amazed at that, at the philosophy of what they were doing, and how did they get them? How did they get graded sets cheaper? Because they have to make a profit. How did they get graded sets at, mint cost or less than mint cost? How did that happen? I still scratch my head on that one. It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. I mean, what was the grading fee on that set? What are you talking? $40 a coin, easy?
Oof.
You sent that set off?
Yeah. Depending on what category it falls under. Yeah. Could be 40 easily. And also depending on its potential value too. They may put it into a different grading category. So yeah, it could be $40 plus.
Yeah, they're graded MS-70, but I have those put away because I didn't want nothing to happen to them. So I forget the signatures that are on them, but it's like, because signatures, if you've got the hand signed signatures, that always boosts the coin up.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of boosting a coin up, do you remember the 1 ounce moonland where it had the footprint in the coin? It was.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, I think Gunny has one.
It was concave with the thing. I need to do a video on it. I went in, I got I think it's MS-70, and it was one of the last astronauts to actually walk on the moon. I can't remember his name offhand, but he hand signed it, Charlie something. Can't remember. He's not one of the well-known ones.
No, it was Apollo 17, I think, was the last mission to the moon, or maybe it was.
I think he's the last living person.
Yeah.
I think he's the last living astronaut that's walked on the moon. Anyways, it's hand signed by him. My LCS charged me $55 for it. I bring up the eBay machine, and that coin is anywhere $350 to $400.
Wow, nice score.
How does and I think paying $55 and it graded in the slab with that astronaut's hand signature on there was less than what the mint charged originally for that coin. So you can find deals like that. You just have to, I guess, be in the right place at the right time.
You got to be out there. The best is when people complain like, "Oh, I never find anything." You ain't even looking. Like, how are you going to find something if you're not even looking?
Yeah, you got to look.
You got to put the effort in. It's not going to fall in your lap or come knocking on your door. You got to go visit your local coin shop for starters.
And I didn't even realize it was selling for that much on eBay. And I mean, that's actual sold listings, $350 to $400. I didn't realize the value of it because we were getting close to Christmas, and my girlfriend's son, had to get something for him. So I dug it out because we're getting him into his own little collection of, different silver and collections and everything. So I just pulled that out, and I'm like, okay, he would really love this for Christmas because it's, the footprint, from the moon and stuff. And then that's when I brought up the computer, and I was like, I didn't even realize it. I was just like, holy cow, that coin is worth that much. So we made sure when he put it in his collection, it's not one he's to pull out and play with, or, you don't want to scratch this up because it's a MS-70, and it's modern bullion. So you just never know which one's going to take off in price.
And I would venture a guess that anything kind of related to NASA, I think in the next couple of years is going to go up because NASA should be launching the first of the Artemis rockets to do testing.
Nice.
They're going, I think they're supposed to launch the first one later this year, and it's going to go up. It's going to orbit the Earth and come back. So there's nobody in there. It's just instrumentation. They're going to send it up, orbit, and in return to kind of prove that the whole system works in general. And get some data and telemetry and all that jazz. But I think when we start seeing that big SLS rocket take off, I think you're going to see anything related to NASA and the Apollo program.
Yeah, all the attention and excitement around it.
Yeah, because the plan is to, get us back into orbit
and not be reliant on the Russians.
Nope. In fact, I believe NASA informed the Russians that we will no longer be using your whatever the rocket is. Yep, we will no longer be using it. We'll use our private venture folks until we get the SLS up and running. But
all right, so little trivia: who helped? What U.S. leader helped develop the NASA program?
Dr. Werner von Braun.
That's the name, right? And who from a political standpoint, who helped move that forward? Who?
Kennedy.
Eisenhower.
Really?
Eisenhower. In 58. I only know this because I got the coolest Eisenhower commemorative coin from Joe Durbin. Yeah. And it led me down this rabbit hole of reading about probably one of the greatest presidents this country's ever seen. The man was a 5-star general and served 2 terms as a president and helped get NASA started. Mm-hmm. Even though as a Republican, he considered himself what did he call himself? A progressive Republican. He spearheaded programs to save Social Security. He helped develop the Department of Education and Welfare. And I mean, it's just amazing that, you look at the dollar and you're like, oh yeah, it's an Ike, but then you don't realize the guy's a 5-star general. It helped defeat, Germany in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, don't forget the interstate.
Yeah. I was just
right. That's exactly right.
Yep. I was just, exactly. Yeah. I was going to point that out too. I was just like, don't forget interstates.
Like hey,
going back to the NASA thing, aren't we in trouble with the space station because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Russia, isn't it their rocket system that keeps it in orbit that they control? Isn't it their engines?
You mean on the International Space Station itself?
On the International Space Station?
Oh, I don't know.
Nope, get him.
Hey, could one of the mods get that spammer, please?
They got it.
Thanks. Hey, I'm making it big time. I got spammed.
When you made it is when they want to get your attention.
Exactly. I got spammed. Woo! I lost my train of thought. The mission control for the International Space Station is actually here in Huntsville at the Marshall Space Flight Center. So they're the main interface with the International Space Station. So the boys here in Huntsville, they talk to them up there pretty, every day. I don't. We've been relying on the Russians to get, for their rocket to get the heavy lift, to get astronauts and materials, up and back to the space station. But is it Blue Origin or SpaceX? They got the Dragon that went up, and now our private ventures through it was a Blue Origin and those folks that we can now get our astronauts and equipment up to the space station. And, and regretfully what's going on, with Russia and Ukraine, I'm sure that played into it. But bringing back, a heavy lift rocket like Artemis, which is kind of a descendant of the Apollo rocket, that's going to put, it's going to put us back into the leader in space. Is it going to be successful? I hope so. It's funny. At first, I was never a big fan of NASA because I was kind of had the mentality of like, why are we spending all this money to do this? Right. But then I went to becoming, I went and became an engineer. I've been working out in that field. The technologies that NASA brought us is incredible. Computing, material sciences, advances in medicine and even in, like food research, understanding how plants react to 0G or near 0G. And, there's certain things certain experiments that you need to do, but they can only be done in near 0G environment. So like the space station is important, and even the work that the space shuttle did is important. There's all this trickle down stuff that just the regular Joe out there just it may not be able to put the 2 and 2 together, but I think it's important that it's part of our progression that we need to go to space. We need to stay there. We need to. Yeah, I know it's a Star Wars, Star Trek thing kind of kicking in, but think about it. That's the next bold adventure, is to go out there. And I think we need to keep a space program going, and I think one of the great benefits, it's got nothing to do with technology. It's the inspiration. It's to develop those big dreams, so that our kids and grandkids, they got, some new, bigger than life, inspiration that will drive them to great things. And it's not necessarily related to science and math and technology. We use a lot of this stuff to help fight wildfires, to figure out what's the right places to grow, crops in certain lands and weather conditions, weather. Yeah. We're getting better and better about predicting, we're not perfect, but we're getting better at like hurricanes. There's all kinds of trickle down stuff, that isn't really
you don't know what you
obvious.
don't know unless you figure it out, right?
Hey, we got freeze dried ice cream and Tang. Come on.
Hey, think about this. How much precious metals? Just think of all the precious metals that are floating around up there as space junk. They're talking about wanting to go to an asteroid and mine it for stuff. What about all this space junk floating around up there that has just been abandoned and is just floating out there? If it hits the atmosphere, it's just going to burn up.
And also a lot of it too is a potential hazard for the space station. They have to adjust the space station's orbit, and because there's some space debris or junk out there, and it could take a little tiny pebble pea-size piece of debris, but it's moving at 40,000 miles per second, not miles per hour, miles per second. That little thing is now a kinetic weapon. It will drive through the entire space station, and it's either NASA or the Air Force or the now soon to become, Space Force. They track every little piece of debris in the debris fields that are up there from old satellites or, leftover parts from meteor showers, things like that. I mean, there's lots of space junk up there.
Yeah, they have to base their calculations off all that stuff floating around so that they don't hit it on the way out.
Yep. Yeah.
Or on the way in.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, yeah. So I hope the Artemis program goes well. Yeah, I really do. But hey, we're over the 2-hour mark, and this has been a wonderful, excellent live stream. And it's going to be a little past 9 o'clock on the East Coast. So I just wanted to thank you, Mr. V Rose. Thank you, Stacking Perpetrator, for coming up on this panel. I'm sorry.
I said thanks for inviting me. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, this is great. Thanks for you two gentlemen. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to interact with you and just share your stories and Ms. V Rose, when you talked about what was that one coin that started it all? That's a great question. That is really awesome.
It would be an honor, and it would be fascinating to hear what it was. You're welcome, Donald. I love you, buddy. It'd be fascinating to hear everybody's story. It really would, because as much as they may vary, you'd be surprised how we've all been touched in the same way by it. It'd be neat to learn that. And I do have one thing before. This sounds foolish, but again, it's just something that'd be fun, and whoever would think to do it, I would need more space. But I think we're all of the same generation. Watched Happy Days, and kin of mine nailed it yesterday. I put it in chat, and she actually said, "Are you talking about that elbow challenge. Who remembers on Happy Days when they held the stack of quarters on their elbow right there, and then they had to come down and catch them like that, right? Do you remember that? So I would love to see people start doing like just like a challenge video of seeing how many they can do. And this is the honest to God truth. And I don't care if you believe me or not. I swear to goodness on everything that's good. My record is 44 quarters. That's a stack. That's a $10 roll plus 4 quarters. My hand's not big enough to catch any more quarters. I've tried forever. It doesn't work. But it would be nice to see people do that. So that's a challenge I'm putting out there. Lisa, I want to see Lisa do it.
Yes. Yes. You know, and that's a perfect, you know, those, what do they call them? YouTube shorts.
50. Woo! All right, we might have to go heads up on that one. I'd love to do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that challenge accepted.
Just from experience, don't have anything, like don't do it around your china cabinet where there's glass, because you were talking about projectiles. Those quarters, if you don't catch them, will start bouncing off of everything.
Yeah, and if you got really nice, you know, tile floors, careful.
That's right.
That is awesome. Challenge accepted.
Bye, Lisa.
So, the best thing I like about the community is,
by the way, look at her.
The best thing I like about the community is we're all doing it different ways to try to get to the same goal. And it's just what I enjoy with the community is just seeing how everybody does it different, you know, because then you can learn. It's like what somebody else is doing, you know, their whole overall scope might not be right for you, but maybe there's a small part that you can learn from them to apply to your own stack or your collection. So that's what I enjoy most about the community, is just seeing the difference that everybody has.
Oh yeah, definitely always open to new ideas. And yes, Miss Nick's coin is fashionably late again.
Fashionably late, we're leaving.
Fashionably late, super fashionably late. Good to see you, Nick. So yeah, let's. Yeah, this is probably a good place to wrap it up.
Oh,
so,
right
gentlemen, thank you. No, seriously,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you both for being here, and it's just wonderful experience. Like you know, you've heard it over and over again. One of my mantras is, you know, in this community, we need to foster friendship and fellowship equally as much as we do content and, you know, tracking the news and precious metal spot prices and things like that. So thank you for this opportunity to promote friendship and fellowship in our community. And thank you to the mods in the chat. Thank you for everyone in the chat for being here. Hope this was a wonderful, fun, enjoyable, you know, refreshing live stream. And, you know, I got a lot out of it. And it's not about me or my channel or what. Honestly, I could really care less about that. Although I do need to make more content. But seriously, it's about you guys. And like I said, friendship and fellowship, that's the goal, and mission accomplished tonight. So thank you, everybody. And since Miss Lisa's still here, bust out your physics book. Remember the first law of thermodynamics: energy is neither created nor destroyed, rather it can be altered in form. Therefore, transform your energy into a force for good.